Good evening, and welcome to the first ever TAPPI Virtual Awards Ceremony. I am Pete Augustine, TAPPI Chairman of the Board, and I want to thank every one of you for being here tonight to honor our 2020 Association Award winners. At this time, I would like to introduce you to my co-host for today's celebration, TAPPI President and CEO, Larry Montague.
Thank you, Pete. These past few months have certainly been challenging for each of us as we turned our focus on the health and well-being of our families, friends, and colleagues. These months have also shown us just how amazing our industry is. We've heard stories of our industry pulling together to help others in need, whether it be delivering critical aid and supplies to local and global communities, or responding to increased demand for essential products crucial to daily life. Our industry has quickly pivoted to meet the growing global demand for pulp, paper, tissue, nonwovens, and packaging. You've helped support the world during this crisis, and TAPPI salutes these united efforts. Working together, we are stronger and better. Today, we specifically honor those who have made valuable contributions to our association and to our industry. It is our privilege to thank them for their achievements and service to others. But first, let us observe a moment of silence in remembrance of our members who have passed away this year. Very sad thing. While not with us today, their important contributions to our industry remain a legacy. Thank you.
TAPPI's true strength is its members, and we would like to honor all those celebrating their 50th anniversary with TAPPI this year. We would also like to recognize our 25-year members and thank each of them for their loyalty to TAPPI over the years. This year, we're happy to recognize two of our sustaining corporate members celebrating landmark anniversaries. WestRock has reached its 100-year anniversary. They became a sustaining member only 5 years after TAPPI was founded and have been a loyal member ever since. It has been a great partnership, and we look forward to the next 100 years. BHS Corrugated North America joined TAPPI as a sustaining member 25 years ago and have played an important role in the industry and with TAPPI. Congratulations on your anniversaries.
TAPPI's 100-year legacy of providing trusted content, events, and networking would not have been possible without the dedication and support of our volunteers. Our board of directors has played a vital role in building that legacy, and we would like to thank them for their leadership and time. We would also like to thank our retiring TAPPI directors, Fernando Bertolucci and James Jim Cooper, for their service and commitment to the board over the past few years. Being named a fellow is one of TAPPI's highest honors. This distinguished achievement recognizes outstanding service to the association and the industry. We are pleased to announce 9 new fellows in 2020. They will be recognized and inducted in a separate ceremony later this week.
We are now pleased to celebrate TAPPI's 2020 National Level Association Award winners. These individuals have led by example in their service to others, their exemplary management, and their remarkable contributions. Their efforts are helping secure our industry for the future. Larry, please introduce our first award winner.
The Gunnar Nicholson Gold Medal Award is the highest honor that TAPPI can bestow upon an individual. Established in 1928, the gold medal is granted to those who have made preeminent scientific and engineering achievements of proven applied benefit to the world's pulp, paper, board, and forest product industries. TAPPI is pleased to announce that Mark Lewis has been named the winner of this prestigious award. After founding Sustainable Fiber Technologies in 2015, Mark guided the Renton, Washington-based company through the development of the Phoenix process, an environmentally friendly method for pulping non-wood biomass materials. The Phoenix process has been licensed by numerous facilities to produce more sustainable packaging, molded products, tissue, toweling, and more. Today, he is CEO of both SFT and Phoenix Pulp and Polymer. Mark began his education in pulping non-woods 40 years ago at Colorado State University. He started his career in the research department at Weyerhaeuser and then worked for NORAM testing equipment before going back into research as a paper-making research manager. Later, he taught paper making, fiber physics, and pulping and bleaching at the University of Washington and continued research in non-wood pulping. After 17 years, he left the university to start SFT. Mark has been an active TAPPI member since 1978 and served as TAPPI Student Chapter faculty advisor at the University of Washington from 1999 through 2014. He served as an officer with TAPPI's Pacific Local Section and now chairs the TAPPI Non-Wood Committee. Congratulations to our Gunnar Nicholson Gold Medal Award winner. Mark will also be inducted as a TAPPI Fellow later this week. And now let's hear a few words from Mark.
First, I want to congratulate all the award winners tonight, especially the young professionals. I'm so deeply honored by this award. I want to thank the board of directors, Larry, and all the staff that worked so hard for all the membership throughout the year. Looking at the past recipients of this award, I see the gods of the industry, many of whom I've had the opportunity to meet and work with in the past. I am in awe to be in their company. As Larry said, I've been a member since 1978. I was introduced to TAPPI by a gentleman by the name of Bert Franklin. Bert told me not just to go to the meeting, but to join, get involved. I took those words to heart, and it was one of the smartest things I ever did in my career. Fast forward 25 years later, and I'm now the faculty advisor to a small group of students who really had no idea who or what TAPPI was. Shortly, there were between 5 and 10 students going with me to PaperCon every year, except for the year it was in Miami, and then they just went to South Beach. I had the opportunity to mold young minds, but also to attempt to instill that same involvement ethic that Bert Franklin instilled in me. TAPPI today is morphed. It recognizes the young professionals, as you'll see this evening. I've been proud to see a number of my former students like John Sly, Marshall Slayton, Sabrina Burkhart, and others to be recognized by the Young Professionals Division. 40 years ago, Bill Bond, Heidi Ramirez, and I were recognized as young professionals in the testing division by the TAPPI Journal. I would like to think that was the beginning of the young professionals, but probably not. TAPPI, you are to be commended for your efforts in the inclusion of the next generation. My tenure with TAPPI has run the spectrum with a great start from the testing division and where I stayed for many years. I had a friend and mentor within TAPPI, some may remember, a woman by the name of Jean Churchill, who was intimately involved in the testing division. Jean made sure I got to meet the right people, sometimes in hospitality suites, sometimes in poker games, which they had back then. I'm glad they were much better I'm glad that they are much better paper makers than they were poker players, for sure. My career took a circuitous route, but the constant was TAPPI, from committees to the local section, faculty advisors, and the national. I've been asked often, how did I get here? We all know that pulping non-woods is not new. I think the last straw mill in the United States shut down in the late 50s. At Colorado State, they had what were called FACs, Friday afternoon clubs, which were just another excuse to go have a beer. And I was having a beer or three with Herb Schroeder, my advisor, wood chemistry and pulp and paper professor. He was sitting there and he pointed east and he said, Mark, there's more fiber in the plains than our whole country uses. Our department was embarking on a large corn stover project, and I pulped corn stover for my first non-wood. That was 3 or 4 lifetimes ago for me. Teaching someone to ask what if is a hard thing to teach. I used to teach a fiber physics class with Jay Johnson, who was an absolute wood physics genius. Our mantra was, bite the dogma that feeds you. In other words, don't always believe because that's the way it's been done or that's what we've always been told. Look outside. SFT has had up to 10 of my former students working for us in various aspects of the company. I've been lucky to be able to go pick the best and the brightest. They're young, they're aggressive, they're open to exploring new ideas and approaches. I push innovation and experimentation from our youngest operators with the Phoenix Pulp and Paper facility to our COO, who's a former paper maker himself. If they have an idea, I want them to try it. Our mantra here is nothing blows up, nobody gets hurt, it's a good day. I recently shared a picture of our team from our annual think tank with an old friend. She asked me if any of them were over 16. I'm very proud to say that 3 of them appeared in the Facebook ad with Larry. 2 of them former students. The 3rd was my daughter, who is now in our chemicals division. SFT will continue to support TAPPI in a number of ways, through committee meetings, through local section, and as far as we can go with it. TAPPI has been a tremendous part of my career. There are many people I would like to thank in organizations. First and foremost, I guess I have to thank our customers who have taken and adopted our technology and built a Columbia pulp mill, built a molded pulp facility in Florida. We have one opening 4th quarter this year in Tennessee. We have one being built in Germany. So thank you. You guys are really putting this out there with board, molded product, tissue, and toweling. I definitely have to thank my wife, Christy, my daughters, Kate and Jessica, for dealing with me with my incessant optimism and persistence. I really appreciate you all. I want to thank my brother in this industry, Dick Dudley. We cut our teeth together with Weyerhaeuser Research. He's been there to provide support and enthusiasm, and he was also a hell of a paper maker. And to Bill McKean and his dream of a wheat straw pulp mill in Eastern Washington. Finally, to my team of millennials, thank you so much. Tyler Campbell, who took a gamble on me 6 years ago, and he's still here today. Jeremy Nichols, who's the University of Idaho outcast, who can build anything. He has been a godsend for us. Jamie Schultz, who worked on this as a design project 17 years ago and came back to work for me. I'm still amazed. Aaron Johnson and Danica Helga, former students who will do whatever is asked for. Ed Draper, our COO, and former paper maker and a TAPPI young professional. Mike Wetzel, who dealt with me for 10 years in the lab at the University of Washington, left to go on to Sunoco and came back to me again. So these folks do miracles a minute. To TAPPI and everyone here, thank you.
Our next award was established in 1983. The Herman L. Youakim Distinguished Service Award is the highest honor that TAPPI can bestow upon an individual recognizing exemplary leadership that has significantly contributed to the advancement of the association. TAPPI is pleased to announce that Gordon Bugg has been named the winner of this esteemed award. Gordon, a senior engineer at Chimera, began his career in 1981 as a PM process engineer at the Mart, Alabama mill of Alabama Craft, now Westrock. He then progressed to coating superintendent and held that post until 2001. He then joined Eka Chemicals and later AkzoNobel. In 2015, his group was part of an acquisition by Chimera. He also served in the U.S. Army Reserve and retired in 2009 after 30 years of service, holding the permanent rank of colonel. His assignments included command positions in chemical, special forces, and logistics units. His awards include the Parachutist Badge, the Bronze Star, and the Legion of Merit. A TAPPI member since 1981, Gordon is very active with the Gulf Coast Local Section and received the Paul Magnabosco Outstanding Local Section Member Award in 1997. He is involved with the TAPPI Coding and Graphic Arts Division and has been chair of the division's Coding Operations Committee numerous times. He was elected to the TAPPI Board of Directors in 1999, concluding his term in 2002. He was also the 2020 PaperCon chair and is currently the TAPPICon 2021 chair. Let's congratulate Gordon as our 2020 Herman L. Youakim Distinguished Service Award winner. And now I'll turn it over to Gordon for a few remarks.
My fellow members of TAPPI, friends and family that are on this call. Up front, this came as a surprise. I knew my name had been submitted for the Distinguished Service Award, but looking at the names that had been selected in the past, I would have never thought of myself as becoming a member of that group. So to all my TAPPI colleagues and friends, you have my deep and sincere thanks. I joined TAPPI in 1981 at the encouragement of Ed Newton, who at the time was the technical director for Alabama Craft Company, now known as West Rock, Martin Mill, Alabama. I started with the Gulf Coast local section, which taught me a lot about the local section organization, and along the way ended up going through the section chairs twice. A few years later, my boss at the mill, Coating Superintendent Al Barton, brought me up to the coating conference, which was being held in Chicago that year, and I linked up with the Coating and Graphic Arts Division Coating Process Committee. I know I'm preaching to the choir with a group on this call, but getting involved with the division committee allowed me to learn the system and contribute at least in a small way initially, because honestly, coming in new to an operating division is pretty overwhelming. Due to time constraints, I phased out of the local section activity and focused on working with the Coating and Graphics Arts Division, where I'm still active to this day. I'd like to thank Westrock, AkzoNobel, and my current employer, Camira, for allowing me the time and support to keep up my association and contributions to TAPPI. I'd really like to think that it's been a two-way street, where the company's benefiting from the contacts and knowledge gained through association with TAPPI. We're all going through unusual times this year with the COVID pandemic, but if you've been around long enough, you can pretty well start to see that there's almost always something going on life-changing, whether on personality as an individual or through larger groups as it is today. To me, one of the marks of life is developing the flexibility and faith to get through and even prosper when these things happen. I found a good sense of humor helps too. One story I'd like to pass on is when I served as the technical program chair for the 1997 Coating Conference in Philadelphia. That was an interesting conference from a couple of perspectives. Some of you may actually have been there. Up until that point, the visual support for our presentations consisted of 35mm slides. For the 1997 conference, we tried out this new thing called PowerPoint, and amazingly, we got a lot of pushback against it, saying that not using 35mm slides was just too radical a change. Doing other things like having closed or invitation-only sessions, invited speakers, and interactive terminals for participant feedback were a few of the other innovations that we now consider normal operations. This experience for me was also unique in another way. The conference opening session was a skit on papermaking and coating featuring Ben Franklin and other historical figures from the American Revolution. I put together some just ideas for the skit and then was later informed that I would be playing one of the roles, totally unexpected. Going back to my earlier sense of humor comment, I can honestly say that I have appeared in front of 1,500 of my industry colleagues wearing a wig and stockings, and I am still considered acceptable company. I'm also retired military, Army in this case, and I deployed to Iraq in 2004 as part of Iraqi Freedom. While there, with the miracle of modern communications, I stayed in close contact with my TAPPI friends and my employer at the time, AkzoNobel, and I really appreciated the positive support I received from both groups. The funny thing was that since a lot of my job can be done remotely, there were some of our field reps and customers who didn't realize I was on the other side of the world until a few months had gone by. One incident that took place while I was there shows that humor can happen even in a war zone. There was a paper mill in the Basra, Iraq area, and what was really interesting was that their fiber source was primarily papyrus reeds, which, as you know, played a big part in the history of paper. So I'd made contact with the mill and had a visit coordinated to come by and tour the site. The guys back home were making jokes about getting AkzoNobel in on the ground floor of the paper industry in Iraq. Well, about a week before the visit, the insurgency broke out and the mill came under mortar attack. I didn't make the visit, although the convoy I was on did take place, and I did see the mill site from a few miles away as we passed. Later, I let my boss at Akzo know what had happened, or rather what had not happened, and his response was, "Well, Gordon, in all my years in the paper industry, I've heard all sorts of excuses for not making a mill visit, but the mill coming under mortar fire is a new one, so we'll let this one pass for you." The paper industry and TAPPI have been a big part of my life for almost 40 years, and hopefully will be for quite a few more years to come. For me, TAPPI has provided a path to give back to the industry, especially through training opportunities and contacts with younger people coming up through the industry. I want to thank again those of you who thought I was a worthy candidate for the Herman Wacom Distinguished Service Award, my wife Deborah for her incredible support and patience with all the traveling that I do, and God for giving me the abilities and talents that have brought me this far. My thanks to all of you for this recognition.
We are now pleased to announce the winner of the TAPPI Pima Executive of the Year Award. This award is presented to a senior level executive in the pulp, paper, or converting industries for excellence in management and outstanding contribution to the industry as a whole. Steve Voorhees has been named the 2020 winner of this distinguished award. Bringing together different companies and different corporate cultures may be the ultimate test of any leader, but it's a challenge Steve Voorhees has met time and time again. Steve is CEO of WestRock and is also a member of the board of directors. Prior to his current role, he was CEO of Rock 10 and also served in various executive leadership roles, including President and Chief Operating Officer. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Mathematics from Northwestern University and a Master of Business Administration degree from the University of Virginia, Darden School of Business. Since WestRock was created in 2015, the company, under Steve's leadership, has completed 19 acquisitions. These acquisitions dramatically grew WestRock in size, and with greater geographic and end product reach, WestRock is on track to $18 billion in revenue, and with 50,000 employees is the second largest U.S. paper industry company and is ranked number 2 in containerboard and number 1 in boxboard. He has earned this prestigious honor for leading WestRock through the unprecedented growth and success. Congratulations, Steve, our 2020 Executive of the Year. And now let's hear from Steve Voorhees.
On behalf of all of my teammates at WestRock, I appreciate the recognition you're providing us tonight. I want to call out Peter Hart and thank him for the service on the TAPPI Board of Directors. And I especially appreciate the recognition you're providing John DeJournette and Natasha Melton as Young Professionals of the Year that do a fantastic job for us at WestRock. For more than 100 years, TAPPI has been the technical standard bearer for our industry. TAPPI plays an important role in supporting our industry by fostering the vitality of the global forest products, pulp, paper, tissue, and packaging industries with unsurpassed technical knowledge, valuable networks, and professional growth. I'm incredibly proud to say that WestRock has been a member of TAPPI for 100 years. With a century of technical knowledge sharing and networking, we owe quite a lot to TAPPI. From training to networking to publications, my teammates at WestRock are constantly engaging with TAPPI. Why are we engaging with TAPPI so often? TAPPI keeps us learning. Through continuing education and publications, TAPPI helps us keep current in the evolving state of technical and scientific knowledge. This material is the foundation for our operations and future innovation. TAPPI helps us stay connected to each other. Staying connected across our industry is more important than ever. TAPPI helps us share new ways to keep our teammates safe, interpret new regulatory guidance, and find opportunities to maintain and grow our critical role in the global supply chain. Also, TAPPI helps us build our company for a sustainable future. COVID-19 has showed us all what a critical role our industry plays in the global supply chain. I've been immensely proud to work in an industry that provides essential products to all that we need. People make it happen for our industry. I'm looking forward to WestRock working with TAPPI to help us build a sustainable future workforce. WestRock remains steadfast in our commitment to diversity and inclusion. Together, we can help sustain and be part of an environment where everyone feels welcome, heard, valued, and safe. Thanks again to TAPPI for this terrific recognition, and thank you even more for your continued leadership as a true center of excellence for our industry. Thank you very much.
I'm now pleased to present the Paul W. Magnabosco Outstanding Local Section Member Award. This award was established to recognize outstanding leadership and exceptional service to one or more local sections. That service must result in significant and demonstrable benefits to the local section members. We are proud to present this esteemed award to Andy Chorney. Andy holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Auburn University. Currently a Technical Services Manager for Essity Professional Hygiene North America. He has more than 29 years of paper industry experience. During his career, Andy has been involved in greenfield and brownfield mill projects, from design, construction, startup, and operations. He has also been active in talent acquisition and training of entry-level engineers, operating technicians, and maintenance crafts, and enjoys building a future for the next generation of paper professionals. Andy joined TAPPI in 1991. He is an active participant in the Gulf Coast TAPPI local section, sitting on its executive committee and serving in various officer positions for repeated tenures. He has also been a participating member on the TAPPI Yankee Dryer Safety Committee. Congratulations, Andy, our 2020 Paul W. Magnabosco Award winner. Andy, the floor is now yours.
Again, I echo the previous award winners and TAPPI's support and the recognition and honor for this this award. I need to thank my family first, my wife Janet and my two sons, Nick and Jacob. They allowed me to share part of my time, away from work with the TAPPI organization, specifically the Gulf Coast section. Secondly, I need to thank my employers. First started with International, international paper, and then now Essity Professional Hygiene, for allowing me to participate and supporting me in the TAPPI organization, allowing to collaborate with other paper makers, attend conferences and meetings. This has no doubt advanced my career and knowledge in the paper industry, and brought value not only to me, but also the mills and the companies that I work for. So bringing that knowledge back to the mills. I've got to thank the Gulf Coast section. It's a group that over the years came kind of like a family with the involvement we had. We not only through organizations and meetings, technical conferences, but also social gatherings around seminars. There's always time for the families to meet, for the folks to join in meals and conversation. We may only meet times a year, but our friendship has developed over time and allowed us to connect and support each other, not only from a professional standpoint, from a personal standpoint, when one of us or one of our family members needed support, needed a voice of encouragement. Again, I'm humbled to receive this award. I got to thank, again, the TAPPI organization, the mills, the paper companies that I've worked for over the years, and I'm really honored for the nomination and for the selection of this. Again, thank you, TAPPI. Thank you, the paper organization, for a career that's been very successful for me.
Each year, I'm always proud to honor individuals that truly represent what TAPPI is all about. Our industry's success is due in no small part to your contributions as outstanding leaders. You are the best of the best. Congratulations.
Pete, I agree with you. Our 2020 award winners are the leaders, innovators, educators, and volunteers that have helped shape our industry and contributed to its success. We want to thank you. But now, as we look towards the future, we must also look at our young professionals who are just starting their careers. They are our future leaders and will help ensure our industry succeeds in the years to come. Let's take this time to honor our Young Professionals of the Year.
The Young Professionals of the Year Award recognizes aspiring young leaders in the pulp, paper, packaging, tissue, and related industries. Eligible nominees are age 35 or younger with less than 10 years of industry experience. For 2020, TAPPI has chosen 5 recipients based on their outstanding leadership, community service, and problem-solving contributions to scientific or engineering projects. Our first Young Professional of the Year is Peyton Clifton. 2017 graduate from the University of Tennessee, Peyton holds a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering with a minor in Aerospace Engineering. As lead project engineer for a cost savings and safety-driven project at his mill, he developed a passion for reliability and long-term profitability. He hopes to one day bring his talents to a role as maintenance and engineering manager. As an Eagle Scout, leadership comes naturally to Peyton. He already mentors an entry-level engineer at his mill and volunteers with his local United Way. Let's hear from Peyton accepting his award.
Thank you. First, I would like to start out by thanking TAPPI and Larry and your team for putting this event together tonight. With the cancellation of PaperCon this year, this is a great event for us to get together and recognize all the award winners. So thank you to the TAPPI team for putting this event together for us tonight. I was very humbled to learn that one of my colleagues had nominated me for this award, but tonight I'm even more humbled to be accepting this award and to have been selected as one of the 5 young professionals of 2020. I would like to say thank you to the TAPPI Young Professional Division. It has proved to be a wonderful platform for me to collaborate across company boundaries and has been a great place for young engineers to get together and collaborate. I would also like to say thank you to Domtar, the company that employs me. Thank you to Domtar for the way that they empower young engineers to reach their full potential. So thank you to Domtar and all of my colleagues at the Kingsport Mill. Lastly, I'd like to say thank you to my family and all of those who support me in everything that I do, and especially my wife, Lindsay. So thank you to my family who drive me to be a better person every day and spur me in my career. Thank you again to TAPPI, and I look forward to seeing everyone at TAPPICon in 2021. Thank you.
Next is John Desjardins. John's research work has focused on advancing paperboard product performance and developing new pulping, bleaching, wet-end chemistry, and refining techniques. As part of the Trey Barris project team, he earned the 2017 WestRock Innovation Excellence Award for fiber science contributions. His analysis of mill process information to determine the impact of refiner plate performance on PM quality resulted in a $500,000 potential cost savings for his mill. John holds a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from James Madison University. He's also an Eagle Scout who continues to support scouting in his community, among other service activities. Now let's hear from John.
Hi, yes, I'm humbled and honored to receive this award. I'd like to thank you and the greater TAPPI community and one of my family, parents, my wife Tiffany for their support, especially my grandfather for instilling my interest in scientific research. Many of my WestRock coworkers go above and beyond their duty to get their work done, and like to especially thank our pilot crew, along with Dick Dameron, Humphrey Moynihan, and Peter Hart for helping out throughout my career, along with the rest of the fiber technology group within R&D, along with Natasha, who you will hear from shortly. A lot of great individuals out there. The TAPPI community has been a great help in increasing my knowledge and learning within this great field of industry. It's literally so many opportunities out there to work on great new, challenging, innovative ideas, and TAPPI has been a great part in being a bedrock of my knowledge in that. I'd like to thank the Gulf Coast group, of which Andy was deservedly recognized and has stated how well that community is supportive of one another. And I take this award as a challenge to contribute to the industry even further in my career. Thank you.
Our next Young Professional of the Year is John Edwards. Making a positive impact on people is a driving force for John, a North Carolina State University graduate who was instrumental in recent water reduction efforts at his mill. He is already a respected leader at his mill and aspires to continue to develop his leadership skills to serve as a mentor to others. John is a staunch contributor to his community and his church, and serves as secretary of TAPPI's Papermaking Technology and Operations Committee. And now let's hear from.
First, I'd just like to say thank you to TAPPI for recognizing all 5 of us and being supportive of the young professionals like us. It's just another reason why I believe that we all made the right decision to become a part of this industry. Second, I'd just like to say that I'm a firm believer that everyone is a result of the people and the influences that they've had throughout their lives. And I've been just incredibly blessed to have an abundance of amazing people invest their time into my life, from my parents to my teachers, my college professors, my church, and my wife. All of them have had a part in making me what I am today, and I really cannot thank them enough. I do want to give a special thanks to some people inside of TAPPI and the paper industry that have really took me under their wing and taught me a large majority of what I know now. So from the PTOC, I want to say thanks to Dave Burton, Philip Wells, Paula Hajakian, Dale Midget, and Todd Varner for involving me from the very beginning and just giving me the chance to contribute back to this industry through our committee. And from Domtar, I'd like to thank Marty Barfield and my boss and my awesome mentor, Todd Coltrane, for being supportive of my involvement in TAPPI, as well as teaching me so much about this profession as well as life in general. I really do appreciate it. Thanks to all of you.
Next is Natasha Melton. At West Rock, Natasha has worked to develop aqueous coating solutions for paperboard, ranging from graphical print quality enhancement to development of new and sustainable materials for barrier performance in packaging. She graduated cum laude from James Madison University with a Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology. She led the Richmond Women of Science and Engineering Diversity and Inclusion team and served as guest speaker at Virginia Commonwealth University, discussing the pulp and paper industry. Natasha also led the Pathway to Science event, mentoring Hispanic high school students interested in STEM careers. And now let's hear from Natasha accepting her award.
Thank you so much to TAPPI for selecting me as a recipient of this award. It is such an honor to be acknowledged alongside such talented and inspiring leaders and upcoming leaders in our industry. Thanks to my family and friends for being the biggest and best cheerleaders and for just putting up with me in general. I would also like to thank my mentors, Chrissy Jones and Jay Pang, and the many other tenured colleagues at West Rock who are so passionate about their work, and they've really taken me under their wing and passed down their incredible wealth of knowledge. Thanks also to my manager, Teresa Krug, and our R&D Vice President, Steve Parker, for providing me with opportunities to really flourish and for valuing my input and contributions even as a junior employee. And this award really means a lot to me because only 28% of the math and science workforce are women, and of this, only 5% are women of color. So this award really motivates me to help change that. And I hope to continue inspiring little girls to pursue careers in STEM. And I look forward to seeing more women leading in our industry and accepting awards like this in the future. Thank you.
And our final 2020 Young Professional of the Year is Nika Wanserski. As a shift supervisor, Nika strives every day to solve problems and develop engineering solutions. She is fascinated by both the business and operational aspects of the paper industry and hopes to eventually serve as a VP of operations. A graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, she tripled major in paper science, chemical engineering, and Spanish, with minors in biofuels and chemistry. Her hard work earned her the 2016 PIMA Student of the Year Award. She is dedicated to safety leadership on the job and to community service in her free time. Nika, the floor is yours.
I just want to start off by saying that it is absolutely amazing to be here, and I appreciate everybody who accepted my nomination and selected me as a Young Professional of the Year. Obviously, the YP board, I have to start out by thanking them. It's a conglomerate of amazing people who have done a ton of great things in the industry for being so young. So to be recognized by them feels absolutely incredible. They work so hard to bring us all together, all of us new paper makers to the industry, and help us not only build a strong network, but help us, build a support system with one another to help us be successful, not only now, but long-term in the industry. And even more so, both Pima and TAPPI have always played such an important role in my education and my career as a paper maker, not only being the 2016 Pima Student of the Year, but being there just to act as, again, another network, giving opportunities to meet people who have been in the industry for such a long time, and that can act as a mentor to not only me, but to a lot of the other young professionals as well, and lending technical resources for us to look at and try to solve our own problems before we have to depend on other people. You know, there's so many wonderful members of TAPPI who have taken me under their wing and let me advice on how to be valuable and a contributing member to this industry. And really, everyone knows I want to be a vice president of operations someday. So for everybody that's listened to me talk about my dreams and help support me and help lead me down that correct path, I really appreciate it. There's so many people. I could sit here and rattle off a huge list of names for everybody. But there are a few people that I think I really have to recognize by name today. So obviously my parents, John and Carol, thank you for putting up with everything for the years and helping me get through my multiple degrees and going through school and continually learning. And then Kevin McCula, Jason Kershesky, Renee Schwartz, Todd Fisher, Floyd Kane, Chris Gethers, Paul Stanchek, Tracy Fitzgerald, and Brandon Bean. You guys have always played an instrumental part in getting me where I am today. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And Lisa Lockwood, thank you for helping getting me involved with Pima, with the young professionals as well. You do a ton of work and an incredible job. So thank you as well. There's so many people, like I said, that could be added to this list. And I know as time goes on, it'll only get longer. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, TAPPI. Thank you, young professionals. This really means a lot.
Sharing technical knowledge is the reason TAPPI was founded back in 1915. The editors of the TAPPI Journal have selected the 2019 Best Research Paper on the basis of innovation, creativity, scientific merit, and clear presentation of ideas. Congratulations to co-authors Alicia Giglio, Vladimiris Papangelakis, and Hongi Tran for their winning paper, The Solubility of Calcium Carbonate in Green Liquor Handling Systems. We'll now hear from the authors accepting their award.
Hi, everyone. I would like to thank everybody at TAPPI for, first of all, organizing this virtual awards ceremony. And I would like to extend my congratulations to all the award winners that were recognized this evening. It is an honor to receive the TAPPI Best Paper Award, and I couldn't have put together such a well-received paper without the continued support and guidance of my co-authors and mentors, both Dr. Hongi Tran and Vladimiris Papangelakis. They both guided me and helped me throughout my master's degree at the University of Toronto and assisted with the publication of this paper long after I had graduated back in 2018. And I would also like to extend my thanks to other colleagues and graduate students at U of T, as well as Sue Mao, who is a research assistant within our group, as well as my parents for always supporting me throughout my entire life and through my master's degree. It's also equally important for me to thank all the industrial sponsors of the Pulp and Paper Research Center at the University of Toronto. Without their support, as well as the input of many of our global consortium members, I don't think this paper would have been so well received. And from the beginning, I really wanted to study green liquor scale formation. Professor Tran had some initial discussions with me and really led me to understand how this scale formation and this problem was immense in the pulp and paper industry. And I was very adamant that I wanted my research work to work towards solving an industrial problem. And I really hope this paper manages to help some mills around the world with their problems. So thank you again, everybody, for this recognition, and have a great night.
Thank you again for joining us tonight to celebrate the 2020 award recipients. It was a great night and we honored some amazing leaders in our industry. I want to take this moment and encourage you to nominate deserving colleagues for next year's awards to recognize their hard work and dedication. Nominations are due August 1st and information can be found online at tappi.org/awards.
We also invite you to attend in person our 2021 awards ceremony, which will be held during TAPPICon 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. This exciting interactive conference will offer 6 unique industry events in one location. We look forward to seeing you there.